Italian Stallion, Rocky Balboa. In 1976, one movie changed cinema forever and created Rocky, a character that has inspired and has stolen our hearts ever since. In this video, we'll be ranking all 6 Rocky movies, including the 3 Creed movies. So sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, get a drink, and let's talk the Rocky franchise.
Covenant, you're calling Raven.
Payback time.
Come with me if you want to live.
You just don't turn it off!
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason. You're watching Backtrack Cinema. This is where we talk movies of the past that you know and love. And today we are finally ranking the entire Rocky franchise, including the 3 Creed films. I have reviewed every single movie. So, here's a card you can hit there for the playlist or whatever. If you want to watch all those reviews and get all my deep thoughts on the Rocky franchise. Just let it be known, this is my favorite franchise of all time. I've loved it ever since I was a kid. I love Rocky. I love the Rocky franchise. I live by his words, his philosophy. It's my favorite movie character. It's my favorite franchise. So let's see where I sit and how I rank these movies. I want to hear from you. Hit me in those comments. I want to hear your rankings, where you rank all these movies, because my ranking changes little by little. Sometimes I like this one more. Sometimes I like this one more. I pretty much like all these movies except one, which you'll see in last place. But without further ado, let's get into this ranking. So coming at number 9 is Creed 3.
I was the best, though.
Yeah, you were.
I was, bro. But I never got a chance to prove that.
Creed 3 just did not work for me, guys. I thought the fights, I thought the training montages were just lifeless. I didn't like this whole anime look to all the fights. I thought it was just awful. It went into a really bleak and depressing tone. And that's the thing. I just did not like the tone. I felt like it was just an empty shell. It just felt lifeless. Maybe that has to do with Rocky being in it. I'm a Rocky purist. What can I say? Maybe it doesn't work for me for that reason, but just didn't gravitate towards the characters as much, except for Little Duke. I did like his character. Take Creed 2, you fight Victor Drago, and where do you go from there? I felt like this movie had a big hill to climb, and they just went for unique, tried something different. As a standalone fight film, it works a lot better without being attached to this franchise, where you can put in those heavy, dark, depressing areas and the drama and all that. Jonathan Majors, really good performance, although I'm not big on the character, really. And I think the setup, I think the initial story is pretty good. It's just the execution of everything. Didn't work for me. Now, from here on out, guys, I like every one of these movies. Every one of these movies I own, and I would watch again and again and again. There's some more than others, that's all. So coming at number 8 is Creed 2.
It's the same thing your father said, and he died right here in my hands. Look what his choice put your mother through.
Creed 2 is a perfect, 1-2 punch combo from Rocky 4 right to Creed 2, with Ivan Drago and his son coming into it. His son being this deadly fighter who's just grown up in hate and everything. Adonis Creed wins the heavyweight championship, and then he fights Ivan Drago's son, and, he loses. So it's about Creed's discovery about what he's made out of, with Rocky's awesome guidance along the way. And I do like the end fight here. I do like the training montage is really, really good. Rocky brings him right down the hell, makes him go through pain with these training montages. And it's very much a very father-son relationship kind of movie with all the characters in it, very father-son kind of relationship. So this is something you could definitely watch on Father's Day. It does have an uplifting feel at the end. But I really like the Ivan Drago, Victor Drago storyline the most. And I'd love to see a movie on them, to be honest with you. I thought they were the most interesting part of this whole movie. I was more invested in them than I was Rocky and Adonis. Creed 2, this has some great drama, good family stuff going on, and some good fight stuff. Coming at number 7 is Creed.
That bell don't mean school's out, Donnie. Keep going. That bell means hell.
Now, this movie was a lot higher originally on my rankings. When this first came out, I watched it and watched it and watched it. I was even at the point like this was my second favorite in the Rocky franchise. And that's where I make the statement that this series, the Creed series, won't endure as much because over the years, as time has gone by, I have brought it right back down again, just because I don't not invested as much. It doesn't have the same heart. I'm not invested as much. When I go to watch Rocky, I'm watching Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 before I'll put on Creed. I love what Rocky's going through in here. I like how he gets gets this resurgence back, and he starts training Apollo Creed's son, and he's teaching him, all these life lessons and everything. I love all that. He gets cancer, he beats that. Like, how great is that? Rocky gets cancer, another thing he beats. You know what I mean? And he gets something to wake up every morning and get excited about. Find some new life. At the beginning, of the movie, Rocky's just going through life, going through the motions, visiting Adrian's grave, running the restaurant, but there's really no passion to him. There's no umph in his soul. You know what I mean? So I do like all that. I think Ryan Coogler had a lot of passion and love for this. You can clearly see it. A love letter to his father. I thought it wasn't a carbon copy of Rocky. The more Rocky you have in it, the better it's going to be. Like, I just like seeing Rocky really come full circle. And now he's like Mickey. He's old and he's wise. And we've seen all the trials and tribulations he went through and how he's just pouring that into Adonis, I think, is great. Coming at number 6 is Rocky 5.
You got a deception going here. This guy here, he was using you for the bait. He wants to get you and me in the ring. That's what he wants us to fight each other, to make the money, right? He don't care about you, Tom. He don't care about me neither.
Now, Rocky 5 is my least favorite, but it's not a bad movie. I've really grown to love this movie. And yes, I'll take it over any Creed film. I know people have big issues with this film. Maybe it's the street fight you don't like. Maybe it's, because Rocky's being this deadbeat dad and he's not paying attention to his family. That's why it works for me, though. It's relatable. You got to bring Rocky down and make him relatable. I know a lot of people didn't like that about this, but that's real life, man. Rocky is not freaking perfect. If you think he's perfect, watch Rocky 1. I mean, this guy was breaking thumbs and working on the docks, for money and everything and surviving. He is very likable. He has a huge heart, but even the people with the biggest hearts are going to make mistakes. I've been there, man, and that's why I relate to Rocky 5 so much. See Rocky going through that real trial of learning to prioritize his passion and wanting to go get the glory back, and but he's missing all these great moments with his family. He's pushing his family away without doing it, and I just love all the emotion that happens when Adrian pulls him out in the street and everything like that, and just so relatable, guys. And I don't mind the street fight because he was a street fighter when he was young. He came up on the street, so it made sense. I'm not big on the music all behind it, but Rocky 5 has some of the greatest moments. It's another great father and son film. I think Tommy Gunn is really weak. Once Tommy Gunn shows up, this movie starts slipping. Even though I like what's going on with Rocky, it starts slipping a lot, but it starts great. It starts with this really dark tone to it. Like, you think, Rocky's got like Parkinson's, he's shaking and everything, which is kind of abandoned. I wish they would have kept that, had that, that tension and that danger. Oh, if Rocky takes a hit, he could really get hurt. But there was a lot, like, they were writing the script while they were filming this. They made decisions. It was a bit clunky and messy. But, and I'm glad we got Rocky Balboa, but I do like Rocky 5, and I think people really need to revisit it if they haven't in a long time. It works for me. Coming at number 5 is Rocky 4. A lot of people probably have this on number 1. It is certainly a movie that gets you pumped. It is certainly a movie that, inspires. Rocky has this massive hill to climb, but it kicks you in the balls hard, man. When they killed Apollo Creed, that was like, wow. And I do like the recut. I do like Stallone's director's cut. I like both versions, but the things in that director's cut, some of the scenes he added are so good. It's just that he left out some of the great stuff in Rocky 4. So I think you can combine both movies somehow. There'd be a perfect cut in there, but I like both cuts, especially the fights. One thing I really enjoy in the recut is, how Apollo's send-off when he dies is better. You see him fighting back against Drago a bit.
Come on, pull it together.
The biggest thing that really brings Rocky 4 down for me, this feels like one giant music video, and Stallone in it is just very Stallone. He's less Rocky, more Stallone in it, which is he's still Rocky, but he's not really that character of Rocky from the first two. Yes, Rocky 4 has great music. Rocky 4 has one of the best fights. It is awesome. The training montages, but it feels like it just went from a montage to a montage to a montage. And I love montages. You guys know I did. I feel like there have been a lot more character moments put in, a lot more story put in this film, but I still love it. I think Drago too, Dolph, is a great villain in it. And if I was to rank the director's cut, it'd be in the same spot. Even though I like it a little more than the original Rocky 4, it would still be the same spot here, or I would have added it to this ranking, but it would still serve the same spot. But yeah, Rocky 4 sits at number 5. Coming at number 4 is Rocky 3.
Damn, man, what the hell are you doing? This guy will knock you on your ass. Come on, Rock, it's not a game. You want to live in the hospital for 5 weeks this time? You thought I was tough? This jump will kill you.
Now, this is the one I wish people would have higher on their list, man, because I love this movie. This was one of my favorites as a kid. I absolutely love Mr. T in this and how a badass he is, and his trash talking, and his just character in general. He's just mean, he's nasty, all the one-liners the dude has in this movie.
Don't get a sucker no statue. Give him guts. Hey, sucker. Dead meat. Pain.
And where do you take Rocky from Rocky 2? He wins the championship in Rocky 2. So where do you take him? You gotta knock him down and make us care again. You gotta knock him down and give him a real struggle. And I love what Stallone does in this, where he's been carried. He's not as good as people made him out to be, because Mickey gave him fights that he knew he could win. And then when Mickey dies, it's so emotional. It just rips your heart out, and then brings Stallone down where he's in this state of fear. Not fear of getting his ass kicked, fear of never being remembered, fear of being a bum again, fear of being completely forgotten about, and being, that character in the first one where people are insulting him and everything like that. And that's what he's afraid of. I love the beach scene where Adrian pulls that out. You got to challenge this fear and conquer it. And I just absolutely love Adrian in this, but I'm Apollo. This is very much Apollo Creed's movie. Bringing Rocky back, and they win the title together. You know what I mean? They win it back together, and then they have that fight at the end behind closed doors. That's just awesome. What a way to end Rocky 3, man. What a way to end it with Eye of the Tiger. I mean, who doesn't love Eye of the Tiger? It is awesome. And putting in the narrative that, Rocky can't fight Clever Lang like this toe-to-toe kind of, digging in, you know what I mean, with this guy. He's too strong. And so he learns Apollo style. I mean, Rocky learns how to fight. He's dodging and slipping. He's popping up. He's doing jabs, crosses, the combinations he's doing. It's just absolutely hilarious to watch, because it's like, holy crap, this is a different fighter. Giving Rocky his heart and fighting like Apollo, that's unstoppable, man. Unstoppable. Is it over the top or the product of his time? Yes, but that's what's so great about it, especially the Hulk Hogan fight. Hilarious stuff, man. Love Rocky 3. This is where it gets dicey, everyone. This is where it gets dicey. But coming at number 3 is Rocky Balboa.
You get inside. Yeah.
Hey, leave him alone.
All right, you see that? You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you say?
I saw it.
All right.
I'm sorry. Good job.
Man, I love this movie. The way Stallone brought this back to like the original again. You can go from Rocky 1 right into this, and it blends so well. It kind of has the same feel, but a little modernized, because we're in 2006 now. You can relate to Rocky when he was 30. You can relate to Rocky when he's 60, if you're at that age. So people who saw this saw Rocky 1 in the theater when they're like 30, and then watching this one at 60, man, probably just really relate to it. And this scene, your favorite movie character of all time, seeing him grow and grow and grow through this, and seeing him at 60 is just awesome. We didn't have a Rocky film for 1990? Rocky 5 was for 16 years. It was a long time, man. And it just got everyone excited. I mean, I wish I was on YouTube. I wish there was YouTube. I'm not sure if there was or not in 2006, but I can't remember. I wish I had a channel and I was talking about this because I watched the trailer every single day. I love how he brought little Marie back. And just, this where Rocky is with this guilt and regret. He's in the state of complete grief, going to the ice rink and going to all these places where he met Adrian because Adrian has died now. And I was like, how is Stallone, because when I first found that out, like, how are you going to do a Rocky movie without Adrian? Boy, did he ever prove it. And he had a hard time getting this film made. A hard time. Even worse than the first one, he said. No one wanted to take a chance on this. And it just looks, you could never count Stallone out. He will deliver. He knows these characters. He knows this story. He knows how to do this stuff. Maybe his best directed film, Rocky Balboa. That and John Rambo. His little comeback he had, with Rocky Balboa and John Rambo. Perfection. Perfection, man. But this movie is just so inspiring, too. That your heart never ages. Your heart never ages, man. As long as you believe in something, as long as you put your best foot forward, taking the hits, nothing's going to hit as hard as life. Keep moving forward. That speech says it all. That you got a chance, man. Standing on the end of the day. Am I standing where I want to be at the end of the day? Just going the distance, man. That's what it's all about. And the ending of this, where he's at Adrian's tombstone, says, Adrian, we did it. We did it. And then he fades out. Fuck, man. You don't get better cinema than that. You don't get better cinema than that. Love it. Coming at number 2 is Rocky 2.
Yo, Adrian! I did it!
Man, I love Rocky 2. I believe it was the first Rocky film I ever watched, but the memory is so faint. I just remember that title card in yellow coming along. I love this one. Is it kind of very slow in that first half? Yeah, it is. But we're with him. We're with Rocky and Adrian. We see them get married. We see them have a baby. He goes through his own trials in this. Can Rocky do it again? At first, he just retires. He thinks he's going to do commercials. That doesn't pan out. All these other jobs, they don't pan out. And that's just real life. That's real struggle. He's a fighter. That's all he's ever known. He doesn't have education. All this kind of stuff. You start really feeling sorry for him. You just want him to fight. And then he has to. Because he starts getting humiliated again. He starts becoming this character he does not want to be. I love the conflict with him and Adrian, where she doesn't want him to fight, but he has to. And then when she comes out of her coma, and then she says, win. From the moment she actually falls into the coma, this movie just steps it on, man. This movie is fantastic from that point out, man. I absolutely, love the emotion with everything. And when she wakes up from the coma and says, win, then Rocky, that's the best training montage, and the fight is just awesome. The fight is so earned. Because while you're watching this fight, you're thinking of Adrian's words, win, because she's at home watching it, right? And I just love this fight so much, man. It's my favorite fight. Rocky 2 has my favorite fight. It has my favorite training montage. It has maybe my favorite score. Between Rocky 1 and Rocky 2, it's the best Bill Conti stuff ever, I think. And seeing a really serious Apollo, Apollo's legacy is in jeopardy here, and that's what he's fighting for. He's fighting for his pride, and that, I'm the champ and no one's going to freaking go the distance with me again. And seeing Rocky win, right? I mean, that ending, so iconic, so uplifting. This is what, you got to remember about this franchise, is that it gets so emotional and uplifting. And, when he just raises that belt and says, yo, Adrian, I did it. It's just the way he's sobbing, his voice and everything. It's masterful, man. Masterful. And this was Stallone. Stallone went and directed this, wrote this, directed it. He did such a good job on this one, man. Just absolutely love Rocky 2. I know it's slow for a lot of people, but there's just so much heart and so much emotion and so much weight to this film that I absolutely love it. I always have a great time with Rocky 2. Coming in at number 1 is Rocky from 1976. You guys knew it was going to be Rocky. You know, I love this film. Rocky 1. I absolutely love this film. It's my favorite film of all time. This movie is more than a movie to me. It feels like I'm just hanging out with my best friend. That's what it feels like. And I just love how this movie does that. You guys may call it slow. People may say, well, Rocky 1's just so damn slow. It's supposed to be. That's how you linger with this character. That's how you're attaching to the character. We're supposed to be following him to his house, talking to his pets. He goes to meet Adrian. You see that he's a fighter. He's at the, he's talking to Mickey. You see that he's this bum. You know what I mean? He's working at the docks. He's got such a big heart though, because everyone's humiliating him. No one believes in this person. He gets a shot at this title, and then he puts his best foot forward and does the best he can, goes the distance with Apollo. And it's life. This movie is a metaphor for life. You know what I mean? I don't need to be the best. I know I'm not the best. But can I be proud? Can I have respect? Am I standing at the end of the day, at the end of my life, and say, you know what? I did it. That's what this movie is. Round 14 is round 14, when he gets knocked down and gets back up again, and Apollo can't believe it. That's life, man. That's everything we know. That's life, man. That's a metaphor for life. As the great Mike Kunda says from the Rocky Files podcast, that's what it is. It's just this struggle against life, and he gets up. And it just the best movie moment of all time in film history, as far as I'm concerned. I absolutely love Rocky 1, and I love the gritty feel. I love the score through it. The performances. This was lightning in a bottle, people. This was lightning in a bottle. Sylvester Stallone, Burt Young, Burgess Meredith, Carl Weathers, Talia Shire, just fit. They all come together at once. It was the right music. It was the right director. It was the right writer. Stallone's career launches after this. The Steadicam was invented in this, going up the steps, and the Steadicam allowed them to shoot things that make this film feel different. Same with in the fights, the way it flows and everything. The whole movie is a piece of fucking poetry, man. That's what it is. It's just beautiful movie, amazing. My favorite film of all time, my favorite character of all time, my favorite franchise of all time, my favorite actor of all time. Love Rocky. I mean, I could sit here and go on forever, but I'm not going to. That is it, guys. That is my ranking of the Rocky franchise. Man, this was a lot of fun. Absolutely love doing this ranking. But let me know in the comments how you would rank this franchise. I would really be interested to see where you guys lie on this franchise, especially the Creed movies. I'd like to know what you guys feel about those because, at the end of the day, I know I probably shocked a lot of people, but Rocky 5 is just so relatable to me, and that's why I just want to tell. That's why only reason the Creed movies are last is it's just because characters. I just love all the characters in the original 6 movies. When I go to watch Rocky, I watch the first 6, and sometimes I'll bow out after that. I just will, but I pretty much like every movie on this list. So yeah, my name is Jason. You're watching Backtrack Cinema. I will see you next time, and I will see you in the movies. Cheers.